Hello and welcome to the Nicole Mason Show, the show where we bring trailblazing women who are movers and shakers in their own respective industries and vocations, women who have taken trials, turned them into triumphs, who now use all of the setbacks as stepping stones for success, and they are now soaring. I am so excited today to have this awesome, powerful woman of God with us. I want to read a little bit of her bio, and it's just short because her bio is extensive. So just want to read a little bit of it so that you can hear from her herself. Dr. Telishia Berry is the publisher of Courageous Woman magazine. And the magazine is an inspirational publication that highlights extraordinary women in business and entertainment. Now in its 10th year, Courageous Woman continues to be a platform for women to be inspired to live their dreams, launch their businesses, and motivate others. Listen, she also has some additional magazines that she is publishing, one of which is Courageous Men magazine. We're so excited about that one. And Authors Who Launch magazine. Those are just a few of the things that she has her hands to the plow doing. So welcome to the Nicole Mason Show, Dr. Telishia.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your show. I love you so much. You have been such a blessing to Courageous Woman for a very long time. So thank you so much for inviting me to your
Well,
show.
I thank you because you have given me opportunity and space to hone my craft. And I love to write. Absolutely love to write. And I know that it is a way to encourage others, to inspire them, and to motivate them. So share with the audience. You've been doing this for 10 years, very successful. You've won all kinds of awards. We see just a few of them behind you on your awards wall, your celebration wall. But tell the audience how you started the magazine.
Wow. Well, a little bit about me. I'm a mom of four, and going through some very challenging parts of my life, going through a divorce. I was looking for motivation and inspiration. I'm a reader, so I love to find things that would inspire me. And I just wasn't finding enough that really related to me and my issues. And so I decided to create a blog.
Mhm.
And that blog actually turned into a magazine. And that's where we started. We're a little bit of a blog, and then once we began I had a friend. I wanted to turn the magazine into a print publication, and he had a thriving magazine. And I asked him, I said, "So what do I need to do to turn my blog into a magazine?" And he said, "Well, you're going to need some money." And I said, "Well,
Mhm.
I realized that, but he said I'm going to need at least $30,000." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" I
Oh
was
my
in a
goodness.
I was in a restart of my life. I had left a situation with one suitcase and a child back to my mom's house, restarting my life. But I knew God had something inside of me that was brewing, and I wanted to motivate women. I wanted to share with women what I had experienced because it was so many women. At first, I thought I was the only one, but I
Yeah.
wasn't. It was so many women just when I would share my stories, and they would come and they wanted to share their stories. And so I
Mhm.
knew that I needed to create this platform for women. And I looked in my bank account. I didn't have $30,000. I
Mhm.
had $30. Yeah, I'm a single mom. I should have been buying some dinner or something with that $30. But I'm a believer, and I believe when God gives you a vision, He will
Mhm.
give you provision. And I had to believe that $30 was going to make whatever I needed it to make. So I used my resources. I used people that I know, my family, my friends, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to do this publication, and I need support." So I got the city. I was in Flint, Michigan at the time, and I had a friend who was an anchor woman, and so
Mhm.
she was on the front cover. And a lot of my friends and family they pulled together, and we created the first publication with that investment of $30, and then we distributed 4,000 copies of that first issue.
Wow, that is phenomenal and amazing. And I love, the fact that you talk about your faith and putting your faith to work, because that really is what we're about on this show. Women who actually have a call and a career, and really merging the two to make something very powerful for other women to follow and to use as an example. And that's what I love about you, because not only have you helped other women, but you've also provided a space for women to share their stories. Talk about why that's been important for you.
I think it's important because I think everyone has a story. You know, everyone has a story that someone else needs to hear. You know,
Mhm.
our stories are not just for us. We've gone through things, and I have to believe that everything that I went through it wasn't about me, because there's someone, many women who experienced what I've experienced, and they didn't know the right uh, way to go, or have the right resources or the people. So I share my story and hope that it will inspire them and say, "Oh, I can do that too. I can get
Mhm.
out of this situation. I can move forward. I can start a business. I can do whatever I need to do because she showed me that she did it with $30, so I
Mhm.
can do it." So I think that's important to me, that women know and believe in themselves enough that they can move forward wherever they are, whatever their situation is, they can move and do what they need to do.
Yeah. And I too wholeheartedly agree with that. And you talked about being a mom of four. Share with the audience, because I know we've heard so many times about work-life balance and trying to balance it all. And you and I have had this conversation behind the scenes as well, privately, just really encouraging one another. But talk about how you were able to raise your children and still go after your dream, and, do this publication and do it successfully, because you're still doing it 10 years later.
I can say it wasn't an easy journey. However, I'm a believer and a praying. I was a praying wife. Still a praying woman, a single woman. So you gotta have that. That's gotta be first. You
Mhm.
gotta know who to plug into,
Yeah.
because it's not easy, and we have to balance. So that is my source. God is
Mhm.
definitely my source, and just inspiring my kids, because
Mhm.
in turn they inspire me. They look for me. uh they're depending on me, so that was definitely a motivational factor for me. And then once I inspire them, now that they're older, they're like, "Okay, mom, it's time for you to go back and do what you were doing. You've been raising us and helping us through all the things that we've been doing, so now we're going to help you." So we're on another journey of, my first love is writing. I was a playwright, so I did many gospel plays and traveled, and that's just where my real heart is. And
Yeah.
seeing my work on the screen now that I have kids that are in the television industry. I have a son who's an actor and two daughters who graduated from film school and they're directors. So they're like, "Okay, mom, somehow this has happened. Okay, we are all in this industry. It wasn't planned out. Let's just know that it's part of what God wants for us." So we're all coming together and creating projects that will be on screen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Amazing. I know that you have something that's coming up soon. So talk about that a bit. The book that is now going to be in film. Talk about that. Because first of all, the book cover, and I've told you over the years, I love the book cover. And so talk about that particular book.
The Baptist Junkie. I think I have it somewhere. I thought I just had it a second ago. The Baptist Junkie. It's a Christian fiction drama. It's based on my real family, actually, based on my mom's life. And I wrote it when I wrote it. It took me many years to finish it. She shared with me her story, and some parts of it's fiction. Um, of going through being raised in a strong Christian family in the 60s, getting pregnant out of wedlock, and all the drama that happened in her journey. And the little baby in the story is me. So it's been my mom passed away in 2014. She did get a chance to read the book, but it's now exciting that it's now going to be on film. So we're in the process of getting all that together now. And when I wrote it, I envisioned it. I wrote it as a film. Even people have told me when they read the script, it was like, this sounds like a play. It was like, kind of, because I'm a playwright, but I wrote it, I envisioned it as a film. So I was believing it when I was writing it. So I'm so grateful and honored that we're moving into that now.
Yeah, and you mentioned that just again talking about some of the trials that women have to go through and have had to go through, and just really how you can unpack that to help women, even older women, to get free of stigmatisms and all kinds of things that people said about them, and really kept, sometimes it has caused people to be stuck and not able to fulfill the greater call on their lives. And so I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that you will have some discussions after the people view the film to talk about it, to unpack those things, moving from low self-esteem to having esteem, moving from not having confidence to having confidence to go after what God has called you to do. So I'm excited as well, and I'm looking forward to it. So share, what are some of the plans that you have for 2022?
Oh, wow. We got some things coming up. Just in a couple of days, we'll be posting the top 10 women to watch. That's always exciting, just to highlight women who are doing extraordinary things in their work. We have in February, we're doing authors and artists, Black authors and authors, honoring them and also giving some awards away. So that's exciting. It's going to be a VIP networking online event. And so that information will be posted in the next day or so. So I'm super excited about that. And I love supporting authors. So this is really focused on authors and
Yeah, and I'm really, really excited about the opportunity to share with you, and know that.
yeah, so I'm
Mhm.
looking forward to that. And we have a Courageous Men event coming up
Hmm.
this summer. So I'm super excited about Courageous Men. We started in 2020. And so, because I had so many men that would say, "You got all these women, what you got for me?" And so I was excited to launch a Courageous Men magazine, and we'll be doing a gala. Uh, uh, Hopefully, we can do it, without this COVID thing we got still going on here.
Mhm.
So we're moving forward and doing that this summer.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that too. And I think it's so powerful that the men are standing up and they're sharing their stories. It's just really powerful to see the response to that. So let me ask you, in the time that we have left, what are some of the situations that you see going on around you? Because I know you, like me, have the opportunity to hear the hearts of women. What are some of the experiences that women have shared that you really want to see change in the lives and in the hearts of women?
Well, I think after COVID, when life had to shift for a lot of us and women, a lot of people lost their jobs and even businesses, to focus more on helping women become more independent and more self-sufficient, self-employed. And
Mhm.
so I'm producing more things to give women more visibility in their business as well as starting the business. Actually, our spring summit is Girl, Get Your Money Right. And so that is something we're talking about, with so many people looking for opportunities to grow their business, make more money. So we're pulling a lot of women together that are experts in those in the field of business and money. So
Mhm.
that will be this spring too.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, and I certainly hope that you all have somebody to talk about estate planning, That's important because I have shared with so many people women in particular, who are entrepreneurs, but they don't have an estate plan. They don't even have a will. We much less talking about a living trust. And so I certainly hope that that's something that you and your team will consider, because that's a conversation that we certainly need to have in our community, so that
Absolutely.
when we do have people, our loved ones, pass away, everything is set and in order, because that is a part of being independent as well, to have both ends of the spectrum covered, how we live and live a full life and acquire, the things that we want, but also to leave a legacy. So I'm
That's
putting a
important.
plug in.
That's very, very important. And that is a conversation that I just had recently, just making sure that those things are in place. We don't always like to talk about those things, but they need to be talked about, because once we're gone, to put that kind of stress on our family to figure out this and that, those things need to be taken care of by us if we want it to be done and done right, and be fair. With our families, I think that those things are important, as well as insurance. Those things are very important. So definitely will have those parts in that summit.
Yeah, and what I like to say when I talk with families about estate planning is, we don't like to talk about these situations, but it is imperative that we do. It's imperative for a number of reasons, so that, like you said, our families will know what to do, how to handle these situations, what to do without us when we're off the scene. But more importantly, that's a way to show how much you love your family. When
Mhm.
you take the time to sit down to plan what you want to happen in the event, number one, that you become incapacitated, like we saw during COVID when it hit. Many people quickly became incapacitated and were not able to talk about what they wanted to happen. So right there, that wiped away any semblance of having control. So we want to talk about that and what to do in the case of one's demise, where things are, how to get business done. You're already grieving, already trying to figure things out. So having everything in place is just critically important. And so now I want to shift gears. I want to talk about entrepreneurship, because a lot of people, they think about it, they have a business idea, but they don't necessarily know how to get started, how to move forward. Talk about your entrepreneurial journey a little bit.
Woo! Well, being, having kids for one, kind of forced me into. I already had like an entrepreneurial spirit anyway, so I was always doing my own thing. But having to have kids that were stair steps, and not having, the child care, trying to take 3 kids to child care, that became crazy. So I said, you know what? I have to focus on being a work from home mom, not a stay at home mom, a work from home mom. And I launched so many different types of business before I really focused on what I really wanted. From everything from boutique at home to home parties, every Avon, Mary Kay you can think of. I was doing all of it, and I'm also a cosmetologist, so I did hair at home, so I did lots of different things, in that journey to figure out what I really want. So in that journey, I learned a lot. I learned how I should conduct a business. I went back to college and I learned more about entrepreneurship and running my own business. And so it's been a journey. It's not an easy one. A lot of times people get into or say they want to be an entrepreneur thinking, oh, I can just work from home. I don't have to do much. You actually have to do more. Let me just tell you the truth here. So you're working, sometimes I'm sitting in my office and I'm working at this morning. I was still sitting in this chair at 3:30 this morning, working on something, and I had taken a nap earlier, but I have off hours sometimes. I'm doing better with that. But sometimes my workload is a lot and I have to get things done, as opposed to going to a job and I just punch in a certain time and punch out. It's a whole different lifestyle. And so I advise anybody to really, really focus on what you want. I mean, things are different now than when I first started because I'm more focused. But to encourage women to just get focused on what you really want and go after it. If you want to be an entrepreneur, know that it's going to be it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be rewarding. It's very rewarding for me. But I tell women, go for it, but understand that it is not it's still a job, but you're working for yourself.
And that's so true. My grandmother used to say it like that as well. You work harder when you work for yourself. And I always say, my grandmother, she had an eighth grade education. My grandmother's success was a matter of survival. My success is a matter of choice. So, I can have a business, I can work, in an organization, and I do all these different things, but that's because of the foundation that has been laid before we came onto the scene. But I love the fact that you shared that, you were doing a number of things before it finally came into an alignment of what you really wanted to do. And so that's why sometimes, women can start a business on the side while they keep their day jobs, if they have one, until something really resonates, like, okay, this is what I really, really want to focus on. This is what I really want to do. And so thank you for sharing that. That's really powerful and important. And, did you have any coaches while you were starting, any mentors that helped you along the way?
Well, in the beginning, it was just, a matter of just bringing in an extra income. I was married then and just bringing in extra income. So I would, try things like Mary Kay and Avon, but I bought all the products. So like, this is not working. So I didn't really get into coaching and mentorship until later, within the last few years. I've had coaches that would help me launch certain things and, get into another space of now we really focus on PR and marketing for women. So we're not just a magazine. The magazine is just a vehicle that we use to help women gain the visibility. But it's a whole visibility package that goes with being part of Courageous Woman magazine.
Yeah, that's powerful, and I really appreciate all the great work that you do and have done as it relates to the magazine and helping women to get visibility. And being a woman leader. So let me shift here. Being a woman leader and people looking to you, for guidance and direction. How do you handle that? Mentoring other women so that they can rise to the occasion with their potential. And how important is it for you to be a mentor to other women?
Wow. At first, I didn't see that. I felt like I was just a little kid on the block, just trying to get, just trying to get going my own self. And until I realized that what I was growing was, I was growing as a leader, and that other women were looking to me for support. When I realized that, the game changed for me, and I had to make sure that, then I'm leading with excellence. That I am, there to support women, not only in the business, but, spiritually, that, women come to me when they're going through things. And, I have conversations with women about things that I've experienced, just sharing with them my experience and advising them, what they can do, how I can help them in their journey as well. So that is super important to me to just be the leader and operate in my purpose, that God gave me, and know that He gave me this platform not for me to just, it's not in vain at all. Like, it's about other people. It's not just about me. It's courageous women, and to encourage and empower women that they can do and be and have whatever they want.
Yeah, and that's so important, and it's important for us to understand the responsibility that
Yes.
comes along with being a leader and the accountability, And I appreciate you saying, okay, when I realized that I was a leader and people were looking to me, how it shifted you and your thinking about it. And that's what we need more of. We need more women who understand that people are looking to you. People need heroes. All of us need heroes. And so when we come into that awareness, we have to be on our A game. We have to be on our A game to help other women to do just that. And so you always ask this in your projects. What is the definition of a courageous woman?
You know what? I have so many of those because I'm almost always asking people that. Actually, we're going to put that in another book because that was such an amazing book project, and we always ask that of women. And you know what? I would say one of them is to just be courageous enough to just go, like whatever God said, whenever and whatever God says for you to do, you just go and do it.
I love that. Just go. Yes, I love that. Just
No
go.
hesitation. Just go. Because sometimes I've talked myself out of so much or so many things, and they'll come back later. I'm like, okay, it must be for me to do because it keeps coming back or keeps sitting right here. So I
Mhm.
just said, go. Don't hesitate because if God plan, if you're a praying person and God, He's going to give it to you.
Mhm.
And know that God gave it to you and don't sit and wait. Just go.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. And so, as our time is wrapping up, please share how people can get in contact with you, how they can find out more about the projects that you have coming up, the magazine, how they can, be interviewed for the magazine, and all of that good stuff.
Awesome, awesome. Again, thank you for allowing me to be here. Um,
Uh,
if anyone is interested in being part of Courageous Woman Magazine, you can reach me. You can go to courageouswomanmag.com. You can, if you're interested in learning how to write a book, you can go to courageouswomanmag.com/boot camps. We have a lot of amazing things coming up this year. So just go to courageouswomanmag.com and subscribe, and you'll be able to get everything in your email what all the things that we do at Courageous Woman.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I'm really excited about this year and all that is in store for women who are looking to gain more visibility with the great work that they're doing through your magazine and all of the other things that you have coming up. And we're going to have all of this information on our site so people can connect with you. And I want to thank you for being my guest. You're always awesome and amazing. Always.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I am Dr. Nicole Mason, and this is the Nicole Mason Show. And we are thankful that you have joined us again today. Be sure to follow me across social media at Nicole S. Mason, ESQ. And also, you can go to my website to learn more about me at NicoleSMason.com. And if you're on Facebook, you can join my Facebook group. It's Confidence Champions, because we want to be sure that you have all the tools that you need to be confident in who God has called you to be. Have a great day and join us again for the next episode of the Nicole Mason Show.